A common problem in After Effects, or better to say, a common problem with After Effects users is that there are a lot of situations where somebody wants to use some 3D in his project. Nothing professional, just some 3D text or logo. But because they think it's too much of a struggle to open a second program like 3ds Max or Blender and create it there, they just abandon the idea. But in fact there are, well, most of you already know that, there are a lot of ways to create 3D text inside of After Effects. And today I'm gonna show you the most simple way of doing it, but not the most cost-effective, because it goes quite hard on your PC. But like I care, buy a better PC. Just kidding. So after we fire up After Effects, we're going to create 3 compositions. We're gonna name the first one Final. Click OK. A second one, we're gonna name it 2D. Click OK. And a third one, we're gonna name it Text, a logo, or whatever you want. Now let's create our text. I'm just gonna write down. Let's write down hello. Come on. Hello, like this. Let's center it a bit. Okay, now let's go to our second comp, which we name 3D, and take our text comp and throw it in there. Like this. And make it 3D. Now, most of you might be afraid of expressions, but we're gonna use one. So, the main concept of this is that we wanna duplicate our text layer so many times and move each layer back in Z space so that it seems like if it's 3D. But if we just say, for example, copy this text 5 times, then manually adjust its Z position, and then take this 5 texts, duplicate them again, do the same thing, everything pretty much becomes messed up. So we're gonna make things in a more elegant way. So take our text, throw it in there, make it 3D, click P so the position comes up, and then alt click the stopwatch. Make this a bit bigger. And now we're gonna type in an expression. Type X equals, then take our pick whip tool and go to the X position. And well, this is the question mark in Greek, but I have no idea what it's called in English. So anyways, this thing. Now type Y equals, take our pick whip tool and attach to the Y position, same symbol again, and then go to Z equals index. Now what index is the number of your layer. So for this layer, index is the number 1. And then I can enter bracket X, comma Y, comma Z, and bracket, like this. So you see, our index is 1, so our Z position became 1. Now, when I duplicate this layer, the second layer has as index number 2, so its position became number 2. And that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna keep duplicating these layers. Let's say, okay, 25 times should be enough. And you see each layer now has its Z position the same as its index. Now you don't really see any difference at the moment, but you will see, no worries. Now we go to our final composition right here and take our 3D composition and throw it in there. Now make sure you make it 3D and you turn collapse transformation on, or it will appear as a 2D layer. Take a camera, go to layer, new camera, okay, and change this thing to orbit camera tool. Now if we spin it around, we can see there's some depth. It's three-dimensional, and the more copies we make, the more dimensional it will, the more 3D dimensional it become. So if I add more, let's make some more. See, it gets bigger and bigger. Now let's make this a bit smaller, like this. Here it's okay. Let's make a new layer, a new solid, and okay, let's name it floor. I made this pretty big, 5000 to 5000. Click OK. Make it a 3D layer. Go to rotation, orientation, and change this to 90 degrees. Then go to the position and move it a bit down, like this. Now, just to show you that this is real 3D and interacts with everything else perfectly, I'm gonna create a new light. So layer, new light. Just name it light 1, spot, color white. I made it white. You can make it whatever you want. Click OK. And now we go to a floor, material options. You want to make sure everything is on, cast shadows, accept shadows, blah blah blah. Make like this, and then go to our 3D layer. Again, material options, cast shadows on, like this. So let me show you how it interacts with a light. So here's our light. Move it a bit closer. You see, you can make some cool looking appear, disappear. Everything interacts perfectly, but you will notice that we did turn cast shadows on, but we don't have any shadow of the text. So I had a big problem with that, but I kind of figured out the solution. Now we have to go back to our 3D layer, and there's no light in here, but you see that our material options have appeared because we have a light in another composition. Now, if we turn cast shadows on in all these layers, your computer will crash. At least mine did a couple of times. Then I just abandoned the idea. So we can just turn the cast shadows on for one layer, and I chose the last one. So we go down here, we go to material options and cast shadows on. Now when we move back to our final comp, see, this happens. We have some pretty cool looking shadows, and they perfectly interact with the light, as you can see. Now, the other way to create 3D text is using a shadow effect, and it's more complicated, believe me, but I think I found a tutorial including this method, and I will post it in the description. Now, we have a 3D text, and like I said, I chose text. You can choose a logo or whatever, but it interacts very nice with everything, but it looks pretty boring. So in the next couple of days, 3 or 4 days, I'm in the middle of exams, so sorry if it takes a bit more. I'm gonna make a second part of this tutorial, telling you how you can make it actually look nice, color it, and stuff like that. So I hope this was helpful. 3D text is always good to have, and see you in 3 days.